Is our hand raised?
Ooh. I solemnly
Is our
swear.
hand raised? Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Isn't supposed to be your right one though. So help me God.
I always keep my fingers crossed though when I do that. That way,
Oh yeah.
that way I'm not lying.
You don't have to live like that anymore though.
I don't. No. No. Well, welcome everybody that has showed up so far.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, Kelly.
Super stoked for everybody to hang out with us on the Recover Out Loud weekly meeting.
That's right. Recover out
Yeah.
loud.
Everyone
it.
knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
First name, last name.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
do.
That's what we do.
I'm Chad Icht.
Chad Dick.
Chad Icht.
Chad Dick.
Chad Icht.
Yeah, Icht.
Chad
not Dick.
Chad Dick.
Chad Icht.
But, we just want everybody to know that this is a Recover Out Loud meeting. I need to pre-warn everybody that this is live on YouTube.
Live.
So if you are on Zoom, you are not anonymous.
You're not anonymous.
This is not an anonymous program.
No.
It's not an anonymous meeting.
No.
It's a Recover Out Loud Hopeaholics podcast meeting.
Yeah. All are welcome.
All are welcome.
All are
Order
welcome.
recovery. Order recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Just be
who have
civil.
lost people.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyone suffering.
anyone suffering.
Anyone suffering.
Yep.
Yeah.
So today we have on some really cool swag. These special sweatshirts from
Sad.
very sad,
Sad.
very sad.
Yeah.
A good friend of ours, a Hopeaholic guest,
Yeah.
a basketball teammate of ours who
Bobby.
won a championship with us.
Yeah.
Bobby, he passed away.
Yeah.
So we
Overdose.
are
Poisoning.
poisoning.
Poisoning, actually. Fentanyl poisoning.
Yeah. So we're wearing his
That's his gear.
gear. This was gear that was being made before he passed away.
Yeah.
They just arrived today, so I'm
Yeah.
super stoked to have them on.
Clean
So it's
cartel.
Clean cartel, yeah.
Very
baby.
cool.
We're keeping the clean cartel going. There's some people that are working on it. So shout out to everyone that's helping out
Yeah.
and working out. Helping out with these clean cartel sweatshirts and swag.
Yeah. Good cause.
Yeah.
Poor Bobby. Poor family.
Poor family. Tracy, we love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole entire family, we love you.
Yeah. Yeah. We love you guys.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
let's take a quick moment of silence, just a quick one.
Yeah. Quick.
All right, man. Let's
Yeah.
get started.
Good old Bobby.
Today we have. Should I do a full intro, guys? Shake your head if I should do like a full intro or how I normally do it. Okay, cool. I'll do it how I normally do it. So today on the Hopeaholics podcast,
Yeah.
we have Jenny from Jenny's Sober Lifestyle.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Jenny.
Jenny's
Nice.
sober lifestyle.
Nice. That's
Yep,
awesome.
yep.
That's a great name.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit.
Are
in
you?
this
I'm gonna turn the
sweatshirt.
fan
Turn there.
on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna turn the
turn
fan on.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
You can cuss.
Do
This
your
is-
worst.
Yeah, this is an adults 18 explicit. We have explicit lyrics here.
We do.
Yeah.
That's what's real.
Yep. We recover out loud. We cuss if we need to cuss. I don't cuss a lot, but when I'm talking about pain or talking about loved ones that passed away, I do. Because I get pissed off. I want to kind of just do a little introduction on why the Hopeaholics exists in the first place.
Yeah.
Because on September 11th of 2022, I lost my son-in-law to a fentanyl poisoning. That's what we call it around here because there is no safe dose of illicit fentanyl. So every time you take fentanyl, it's a poisoning, not an overdose.
Yeah. Even if you are getting high, it's still
Oh, yeah.
poisoning.
It's poisoning.
Still a poisoning.
So we're bringing awareness to that. That's why the Hopeaholics has started. Super stoked on how things are going and the response that we've received. And one of our reels hit 1 million views
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
amazing.
last
Yeah.
week. So we're like super excited about that. We're just trying to bring awareness, man. That's all we care about. Like that is the only thing we care about. We want to stop this crisis from happening, and we want to, after that, continue talking about the disease of addiction because so many of us suffer from that, and we're just trying trying to get better.
Yeah.
And that's why it works. And that's why people are watching, because you guys are real and you're authentic and you're just speaking the truth, you know, and people need to hear that. Like, we need to stay connected in that space of being relatable. So, yeah, it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't edit anything either.
No, it's all
Unless
raw.
I have a rule. I have a rule. Whatever happens on our podcast is exactly what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Unless somebody accidentally says something offensive.
Yeah, well, then we have no choice. We
Yep.
bleep it
Yep.
or whatever.
We just bleep it out.
Yeah.
Has that happened?
Not
Yeah.
yet. Has
Yes,
it?
yes, it
What?
has.
You're like,
Oh,
no.
has it?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
A couple of times.
Has it? No, see, I haven't watched the first 20. I started
Nothing's
it.
offensive to you.
Really?
It's just a free for all.
It's true. That's true.
So, anyways, we invite any of you that are zooming in to come in and be a
Oh.
guest anytime.
Yeah.
You know, we love that. Oh yeah, in the Zoom meeting you can use the messaging. I don't know. Michelangelo's talking to me, and I have no idea what he's saying because he doesn't have a microphone.
We can use the messaging down in the, and you could talk to each other.
talk to each other, talk to
You
us.
could talk to us, talk to each other. Michelangelo answers and asks us the question, so we'll respond.
Yep, that's how it'll happen.
Yeah.
So if you have anything you guys want, we want to make this meeting cool. We want it to be fun, not your typical boring Zoom meeting, whatever that is. I don't know. Anyways, tonight we have a special guest.
Yeah.
We really do. We have I really don't do intros. We have Jenny from Jenny Sober Lifestyle. A lot of cool shit in the works. I know she has a podcast coming out very soon of her own called Jenny Sober Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
It
Nice.
is nice.
It's my word. I only use it on the podcast now.
Yeah.
I refuse to use it anywhere else.
So that'll be cool. That'll be another badass podcast that you all can check out and listen to. And
Yeah. That's cool.
you know,
Super stoked.
recover out loud
Yeah.
together.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Saving lives, just different crowd.
yeah, saving lives,
Just different crowd. That's all.
Yeah.
Trying to get all angles here.
What's kind of cool about the Hopeaholics is we're actually 75% of our listeners
Female.
are female.
Yeah. 80. Is it 75 only?
Sev-
I thought it was like closer to 85.
76.
76.
Why do you
Yeah.
think that is?
I don't know, because Shane and I are so handsome.
Right?
I don't know.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is.
I don't think so.
Oh, look, people just dropped off when I said that.
Oh no!
I'm just
Come
kidding.
back! Come back!
I'm just,
You
I'm
know
just
what? I
playing.
forgot we were in the meeting. Should we start? Should we?
It's much easier to just do a podcast. I just want you guys to know, all three of us were nervous as fuck. We do podcasts. Shane and I mean, Jenny podcasts all the time too.
Yeah.
But we were like all nervous because we're going live.
Yeah.
And if I want to be really honest, last week I was petrified.
Were you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Shane didn't talk the whole time. I
Yeah,
was
you're
like, what is
really
going
quiet.
on?
Yeah. I was just,
So
I'm 2 Red Bulls in now. I'm good.
I think the way we're gonna typically do the meeting though, we're gonna have a guest. We'll spend about 20 minutes, talking to the guest, and then we're gonna open it up. You guys want to share live on YouTube and Zoom in with us? I think you have a little hand button. You can raise your hand, and then we'll call on you. Right? Everybody have a hand button?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
All
Fun.
men in the meeting.
No, not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, we're gonna
Okay.
open it up, Jenny. The floor is yours.
Oh boy, the pressure.
Pressure's on.
Hey, you guys,
Hey
how
there.
are you?
Good. You?
Good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Hey,
no
everybody
pressure.
out there. How's it going? Yeah, so I'm in recovery. I recover out loud for sure. I always have. It's not for everybody. I get that. But for me, it works. I got sober almost 7 years ago, and it's been a long journey, even in sobriety. It's like people get sober and they think, oh, life is just going to be wonderful. And it is wonderful in so many ways, but you still have to deal with life on life's terms. And a lot of us have a lot of wreckage from our past. And so I like to talk about those things. I like to say it out loud, and let people know they're not alone, that we're all going through it one way or another. I'm going through it right now. So, but yeah, I came out to the States from Canada. I've got
Hey.
another Canadian
Oh,
right next to
yeah,
me,
that's right.
coincidentally.
That's right. She's from the good part of the country, though.
Shane's Canadian.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm from the middle of the area. It's not I'm not
Not as
from-
nice.
No, it's not.
I'm
It's
the
not.
bougie Canadian,
bougie.
and you're just,
Yeah.
just Canadian.
I'm just Canadian.
So, but yeah, I came out here after a rough childhood to get out of that whole scene, and a lot of childhood trauma, just running and gunning from a young age, and came out to LA with a suitcase and a dream to live the Hollywood dream. What's that movie? Everybody's got a dream. What's your dream? Remember? What was it in?
I don't know. You have to ask Michelangelo.
I have no
Pretty
idea.
Woman?
Oh, really?
I wasn't a prostitute, though. I'm like, maybe
Great
I shouldn't have
movie.
said that.
Great movie.
But at the end, that's
Great
what he was
movie.
like, don't you have a dream? But yeah, no, I came out here. I didn't know one person except my manager at the time. I was acting and modeling, and I was off and running to do a TV show out here, and I never looked back. So that's how it all started. For me, I started doing drugs at a very young age. I was like 11, 12 years old, getting high. Really at that age. I mean, do we really know what drugs are when we're that age? And like, you're just trying to numb stuff out or experimenting with your friends. For me, I was trying to numb stuff out. I didn't want to feel. I didn't know back then when you're numbing out the bad, you're also numbing out the good. So I really had no feelings. I didn't feel anything. And so, yeah, that went on. I came out here and it was still going on. So taking a lot of pills, a lot of people ask me, what was your drug of choice? And for me, it was, I had this cocktail going. It was Adderall, pain pills, and Xanax. And that was my thing. And I didn't even realize that I had a problem for like 10 years. Like I thought, because I wasn't the quote unquote typical drug addict, I had things, I lived in a house, I had a car, I wasn't homeless, that I had it all together. And I definitely didn't, as addicts, alcoholics, we can all relate to each other that when you have that addiction, you have all those underlying issues that are relatable. So I didn't realize I had a problem until I tried to stop. And then when I tried to stop, I was like, holy shit, like I cannot stop. I was deathly ill, at the hospital, and was like, wow, this is an issue. But I didn't stop. I just kept going. And I had this conversation with myself I'll never forget. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep doing pills. Like that's just what it's gonna be. I'm gonna do pills and I'm just gonna live the rest of my life like this. So that's what I did for a very long time. I was in the modeling and acting scene. As you can imagine, there's a lot of people in that scene getting high. They say girls that are modeling and doing a lot of that work, like 80% of them have trauma and stuff that's gone on in their lives for them to do what they do. That it's I'm not going to get into like great details of what I've done in my past, but I'll leave it at that. But yeah, so I was in one bad relationship to the next, toxic stuff, always just looking for the next best thing, never satisfied. And then it just, got to the point where I did want to stop taking pills. And I was like, all right, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get off these pills? And I thought, oh, well, I'll start drinking. That's my solution, right? That our mind is literally trying to kill us when we're in our addiction. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to start drinking and then I won't take all these pills. And it was such a blessing in disguise because once I started drinking, I became super sloppy. And so, like I was a blackout drunk. I was like the worst blackout drunk where I would wake up and not know where I was with people that I didn't know and just put myself in just horrible situations. And it was actually the alcohol that eventually got me sober because I got so sloppy. So yeah, it got to the point where I was sitting at an ex-boyfriend's house in San Diego on a bed with a gun. And I knew I had two choices. Either I was going to die or I was going to live. And if I was going to live, I had to get help. So checked myself into rehab. And that was a whole experience in itself. I wasn't some rehab kid. I hadn't gone to a bunch of places. So It was an experience, especially in Orange County, California. If anyone out here knows the treatment business out here, it can be a little some places.
I happen to know it. Do you,
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I like to focus on the positive more than the negative, So for me, I got sober and I had this aha moment while I was in treatment that my life had to be helping others in one way or another. I had to take everything that I had been through and turn it into something positive. I was in such a victim state of mind for so long that it was just keeping me so sick. And so I had to turn into a survivor, and that took a lot of time. But I was able to do that. And I put myself back into school and started working in the recovery arena and started helping other people. So that's my purpose. That's my passion. That's what I love to do. I get up every day and hope that I can help somebody out there that's struggling one way or another. So that's the very short version of the long story. But you guys can ask me questions and we can fill in the gaps. I know that wasn't anywhere near 20 minutes, I'm thinking.
Oh, I have no idea. No, I wasn't timing it. But I was thinking. I was also thinking if you do want to know her full story, it is on the Hopeaholics YouTube. Is it up on Spotify? Not yet. It's not up on Spotify yet, but it's on the Hopeaholics. That's the long version. Yeah. Those are boring though. Don't watch us on Apple.
Why is it boring on there?
Because there's no video. Apple is
that's right.
audio.
It's just audio.
Audio only. Hey, there's a baby on our podcast.
There's a baby.
Look at how cute that baby is. I don't know who it is, but
I feel like that's just a picture. Is it really?
No, yeah, it's just a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's baby.
I'm trying not to look over there as much.
Shane, you got to stop staring at the people and get.
I like it.
Shane's really mesmerized by everybody.
Shane loves to look at everybody.
There's the wait. I saw the actual person.
Oh, behind the baby?
Yeah, behind the baby. There she is.
Who's the person behind the baby? Hi.
Yeah. Nice. There we go. All right, I'll pay more attention to you guys.
Yeah. Go ahead, ask her some questions.
Well, I know her whole story already, but I'm going to ask. You got a nice daily routine. I mean, you're getting up, you're working, you're doing things, you're fulfilling your life today.
Yeah, I mean, literally everything about my life is recovery and being positive. I get up. I get up really early, like 4 a.m. Naturally, like a psychopath.
Yeah.
So that's
no other way.
That's when I get up.
Psychopath. We love psychopath.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you have to be a little crazy and a little obsessed to like.
You were before.
I was before, but now I've channeled it.
Yeah, exactly.
Channeled it into the good.
Yep.
Because I was obsessed with getting high. Like it was my obsession, if it was okay, like every 2 hours, like, okay, what am I going to do my next, how am I going to do it? Where am I going to do it? That whole thing. And so now I have to be obsessed with positive, with beautiful things, with everything good in my life.
Yeah, I think it's really important to fill your mind with positive things on a daily basis, and to strive to become the best version of yourself every single day. That's what recovery is about. And I mean, for me, that's what recovering out loud is about, is showing people that they can get clean and sober, that they can walk through their pain, and that they can, live an amazing life beyond their wildest dreams.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And be happy.
Yeah, be happy. That's that's the thing, bro.
Yeah,
being happy. And this starts every time you wake up. You're up at 4, you're up at 3. I'm up whenever. That's when it starts. Every day.
Yeah,
every day.
Shane's up at 4 every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
You're up at 4?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Unmute to ask.
We got a couple people with their hands up already. Nice.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
So my name is Wesley. I'm from Washington State. Your story is really inspiring. And all of you guys, your story is very, very inspiring. And it's one thing to see a post about sobriety or about somebody that overdosed or anything like that. but it's another completely different thing to have somebody that's been in a situation talking about it and speaking about it. And I just, you guys inspired me to share some of my story with you guys. It's different from everybody's story, I think, is different, but similar in the same way to other people's. And that's how we connect.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
But
right.
like I said, my name's Wesley. I became paralyzed from the neck down when I was 33 from shooting heroin.
Oh, wow.
Um, I was in the hospital
Damn.
at
Wow. Damn.
Harborview in Seattle
Jesus.
for 2.5 months total. My first month I spent in the ICU for 3.5 weeks on a ventilator, and the only thing I had control or movement of was my eyes. And
Wow.
luckily for me, about 2 months before I had gotten to that hospital, uh, one of the nurses there in the ICU had created a chart, an alphabet chart that had 5 rows and 5 columns
Uh-huh.
with all the letters from A to Z, and she would put her finger on A, and then I would move my eyes up and down and to the left and to the right, depending on what letter I wanted to get to for what word I wanted to make. And then when she got to the letters that I wanted, I would blink twice and then move my eyes in any direction for the next letter, for the next word that I wanted to make. And I remember the first thing that I said with my eyes or communicated was I told my mom that I loved her, and that just made her cry and bawl into tears. And I I'm so grateful to God for bringing me on the journey that He's brought me on. I've died 4 times since becoming paralyzed. And then after the 3.5 weeks after I got out of the ICU, and God gave me control and movement and function of my lungs where I could breathe and talk on my own. Um, 2.5 weeks after that, God had restored the use of my arms, which I'm grateful for today, as you can see. But even though I have the use of my arms, both of my hands are still paralyzed, like you can see. I have control of my left wrist, which kind of gives me a little bit of grip to grip some silverware with a foam handle on it. So that's allowed me to do quite a bit
Wow.
of stuff for myself. But let's see, where was I going with that? When I was in the hospital, about a week after that, so 7 weeks after I'd gotten paralyzed, and just 1 week after gaining the use of my arms, I overdosed on heroin twice within the same week while I was still in the hospital because I had some stuff brought to me while I was in the hospital. The first time that I came back was 2 doses of Narcan, and the second time that I came back, I didn't need any Narcan, but my face was gray and my lips were blue from what I was told. And God literally brought me back to life from the dead both of those times. And the third time I died in 2018, between January and July of 2018, I had attempted suicide 5 different times. One of which ended up killing me. It stopped my heart. I had taken all of my painkillers, which was about 30 oxys and 7 4 milligram Dilaudids. So it was definitely more than enough to do the job. And due to the massive amount, I think the thing that saved me was the massive amount. It took over 2.5 hours for my body to digest all of those pills, and I was able to tell my mom what I'd done, that I took all these painkillers, and so she called 911, and thank I think it was by the grace of God, and I believe that everything happens for a reason that's in God's hands. We were literally on the same road in the country, on the same road as a fire station. So it literally took less than 5 minutes for an ambulance to get to my house. They loaded me in the ambulance, and less than 5 minutes down the road, after we left my house to go to the hospital, my heart stopped. So they had to pull over on the side of the road, stop the ambulance, and give me CPR. And once again, hey, Daniel, Alexi. Hey, Dan or Lex. Sorry, my water bottle's empty, and now I'm paralyzed from the chest down. So I have movement in both my arms, but both my hands are paralyzed. But I have a water bottle with a small handle on it that I hold on my thumb that allows me to drink. I drink mostly water now, and I'll have a soda maybe once or twice a month. But can you guys still hear me?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we could hear you, man.
Okay.
You're a miracle.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah,
are.
literally.
We really
I'm.
appreciate the share, and it yeah, you are a miracle, and just what you've been through is something that all of us need to hear and be reminded, because your story definitely helps me stay sober today.
Oh, where it takes us, the
Um,
craziness.
and
Well,
yeah,
Yeah.
so
It's inspiring
it's
to
very
hear you
inspiring.
share.
Yeah,
It's inspiring that you fought through, you battled. It's inspiring to hear that that God has restored some your lungs first and foremost, and then your arms.
Right.
Those are all miracles, man.
Yeah, literally. I'm literally a living, breathing, power wheelchair rolling, absolute and undeniable proof that God is real and that He is here with us.
Yeah.
that's right. Well, thank you.
And
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. God bless you.
yeah, you. Thanks for having
I
me
have
on.
I have Michael's number. He called in earlier, talked to Zach. I have his phone. Sorry, Wesley. He called in earlier and talked to Zach.
Nice.
I have his number, so we're gonna invite him,
All right.
at a later date and see what we can do there.
Yeah, Wesley, we'll talk to you
Yeah,
soon.
we'll talk to you
Shane's
soon.
got
Alright.
your number.
Yeah, I got your number, brother.
Take
Okay,
care.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. David Ludlow.
David Ludlow.
Recovery.
Hey, David.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey Jenny. Good to connect. Good to hear parts of your story, man. I think at the beginning of our thing, we share what it was like, and not so much what it was like, but what we were like, and you talked about that trauma, that hopelessness, that despair. And I think that's where it all starts. And that we find comfort in that solution of escape. And for me, it was never enough. I like to think I suffered more from moorism in every aspect of my life before I got
Right.
sober. It was never enough. It wasn't just alcohol. It wasn't just drugs. It was, let's mix both, and let's throw some crazy shit on top of that. And then you get in trouble, and it's like, no, let's not go with something small. No, let's push the extreme. And you talked about it today. The crazy people get up at 4. I'm one of those 4 a.m. people.
That's right.
It's that's where we live and breathe.
Yeah.
And I, like it was an all or nothing thing. I was given this chance. I mean, I shouldn't be here. I'm a 7-time felon. How I ended up in prison the rest of my life. Had a gun to my head twice when the gun trigger was pulled. I mean, I shouldn't be here. When I finally made that decision to surrender, it was all or nothing, because I knew this was the last chance, right? It was the last house on the block, and that same gust and energy, that moorism to escape, man. I just had to practice transforming my mindset and to what recovery was about. and listen to people that were successful doing it, because I had no clue.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I think I'm doing a fairly good job today, but I too recover out loud as possible, because it holds me accountable.
Yeah.
Like if I don't, post something or go live or do something like that, I mean, I start getting calls.
No,
Like,
for
is
sure.
everything okay? I'm 6 years in. But the beauty of this thing is
How many
when
years in did you say?
somebody that knew,
6?
I had 6 in April.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, thanks, man. And then, it's that joy today that people that knew me prior that see what I've done with my life today. And I too, I work in the treatment space. I run 3 treatment centers here in Texas. And, it's like, wow, you figured this thing out. What'd you do? I need for you to talk to my son, my husband, my wife, my sister, my mom, whatever the case is, my phone just rings all day long. But yeah, there's no better thing than recovering out loud. So that next person doesn't realize that they have to do this thing alone. So,
Absolutely.
Jenny, good to connect with you guys. Good to see you as well.
And I like what this guy's saying. You got to recover out loud. My mom prayed. I mean, she told everyone. Everyone was praying for me.
Yeah, David, thank you. I couldn't agree more, because if we're quiet, people are dying. Too many people are dying. 300 people are dying every single day
crazy.
from fentanyl. There's
Just
some other,
fentanyl.
there's just fentanyl.
Just fentanyl.
Yeah, that doesn't include everything else. That's an airplane, just so everybody knows and understands.
Yeah.
That's a very large airplane going down every single day.
Yeah, that's crazy when you look at it that way.
And
Think about it that way.
Well, and the part that pisses me off, and why I'm loud as fuck now is the fact that if an airplane actually went down every single day, in 2 days they would shut down all air travel.
For sure.
So
what's that all about?
So what's that all about?
Yeah.
Why are they doing nothing to stop this fentanyl crisis? It's beyond fentanyl, but fentanyl is on the forefront right now. And like I lost my son-in-law. We just lost a really good friend like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. Got his jersey on.
Yep. So, we're gonna recover out loud. We truly hope that you guys, share this meeting with your friends and show up every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And recover out loud with us. And this is a movement. This isn't about just coming in and doing a meeting. This is a movement to force change at the highest level. See, the one thing that the government has never really realized, and what's cool about on this podcast, you can talk about the government, but you can't really talk about politics. They don't realize that addicts and alcoholics already follow a tradition that talks. It doesn't matter what religion, sex, political views.
Nothing.
We all come together.
Yeah.
And we help each other get better.
That's right.
And that's what this movement is about. It's about forcing change at the highest level. Like, what are they going to do when 40 million addicts and alcoholics come together?
Listen.
They're going to have to listen.
Yeah.
I'm tired of, I literally, I'm tired. I've cried at 2 funerals, and I did them both. Like, nobody else could do it. So I stood up and did it. And, then God put this podcast on my heart, and we got a lot of other cool shit in the works, just so you guys know. So continue to, follow us, follow Jenny's sober lifestyle. A lot of shit's happening.
Yeah, it's good times.
All right. Enough of me.
Dirt, poor, unlimited, Valdez.
Nope. Gabriel first.
Gabriel,
Hi.
sorry.
Hi.
Gabriel.
How are
Hi,
you?
how are you?
I'm good. I know you.
I know, Jen. Thank you so much for your share. I was like at work, and then I came home and I wanted to listen to the podcast. So it's like getting ready for the meeting and stuff and just listening. And, I remember hearing your story a little back when I was, in the Orange County treatment hopping situation. I did the same thing. I went to so many treatment centers. I just didn't know how to feel normal if I wasn't high. And it took me a long time to understand that I needed to put in the work and to work these steps. And I'm grateful though that, you know, I had that experience with going to so many different treatment centers in Orange County because it brought me desperation that I never knew I needed. But, you know, being from the Midwest, coming out here, I had no one to like back, you know, go back to. I just had to figure it the fuck out. And so that's what I did. I was, you know, sick of it. I came to LA from Orange County. I once again got kicked out of a treatment center, came to LA, and then thankfully I found a sponsor and I dove into the work, and you know, my life's changed. You know, I work in treatment now, and I always just remember you because you always had a light. Like you were just like beaming, and I'm like, how the fuck is she so happy? Like what is it? And I never really, you know, I seen meetings, but I just never got it. I was like, it just doesn't seem like it'd work for me. Like it's just not for me. And it's for everyone. It's amazing. And I'm glad I got to like share your posts on Instagram. I love them. I think you're amazing. I think you recover out loud, and that's how I want to be, you know. Yeah, so thanks.
Aw, well, thank you.
Thank you. I like
Proud
that
of
this.
you.
Yeah, I like this guy mentioned he got a sponsor. I mean, that's the key: giving your life over to someone else, to God first, obviously, higher power, whatever. But finding someone to take you through the steps and really guide you through your life for the first year or so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Gilbert, what's up, buddy? We almost got you on mute. There you go. Now you're, yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I just want to say that you guys with the podcast, man, it's amazing to share everything out loud, right? I'll watch the live, hearing her story and the other gentleman's story, and then it's like a domino effect, right?
Yeah.
It just, you know, we get to all tell our stories and like Chad said, come together, you know. I think this is going to go very far, and it's very inspirational, and it's another platform to help us addicts and alcoholics get the word out on all these experiences that we're all going through, you know. Some of us are shy, and some of us are just, you know, watching in and the first time logging in, and it's okay to listen, but like hearing her story and then the gentleman and then every story after her, it's like, oh man, you know, like I could relate. We all could relate, and we all could use whatever tools that we went through and share our stories and experiences with other people on this platform, in this movement, and help someone else who doesn't know how to speak or didn't know that, oh man, I could get through it like that. You know, I never went through treatment centers, but I went through a lot of jails and prisons, and that's the only way I could get sober at the time, or get clean at the time, was, man, I'll catch another term. I know I'll be clean, and sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and I'm out here now, and I'm living a new life. You know, like the last Gabriel who said that spark that he saw in Jen, like I try to have that spark every morning. I also wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to work, right? And that spark, I want to share it with the world. I want everybody else to know that recovery for me, the blessings for me have not stopped, and for my wife and for the people in our house, and we just, and me personally, I just want to share that story as much as I can in platforms like this, because that's where the movement's gonna you know, be so strong for us all to be in. It's by sharing our stories and that spark that we're all hitting by starting new. You know, I have a whole new life, and I don't got to worry about prison no more. I don't got to worry about, you know, if I get pulled over and then searching my car. You know, I don't got to worry about not getting high or getting arrested, and not being a faithful husband or a good dad. Like, my bills are paid. You know, I got good credit now. I don't even know what to do with it. You know, and I just want to let you guys all know. I just want to let you guys all know it's possible for all walks of life, man. And I want to be a spark to this fire you guys are setting.
I love that.
Yeah,
Look for the similarities, not the differences, you guys, you know?
Yeah, we appreciate that, Gilbert.
Oh, this guy's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, of course.
That's cool. Yeah.
I know why you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, just so you know. You got to be at work at 6.
I gotta be at work, ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah. Man, I appreciate your
thank you. I
share.
appreciate
Yeah, it's
you guys.
awesome.
Yeah, I could relate with a lot that everything that you said. I mean, at the end of the day, you know what it all comes down to is we all suffer from pain.
Yeah.
You know, and it's that pain that drives us to, get loaded. And we don't have to. I say this a lot on the podcast, but it's easier to actually walk through the pain than to sit in your pain
Absolutely.
and hold on to it.
Yep.
And it's so rewarding at the end. I know it looks dark sometimes in that pain. It just seems like, how the fuck am I going to get through this?
Right.
You just do it. And you just keep walking and you get up. And you get up.
That's what family's there for too, though, bro. Or loved one is to kick your ass through that pain sometimes, you know?
Or if you don't have family or loved ones, man, we'll be your family and loved
that's
ones.
what I'm
That's for
saying.
damn sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we're about over here.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Who's next? All right. Look, we got 2 hands. Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hello,
Hi.
Bam. Hey, I just want to hop in here. I want to say thank you, Jennifer. What an amazing share. I totally identify, and you guys totally got my attention on the Recovery Out Loud. You know, a mentor of mine, Clancy he talks about how over 90% of alcoholics and addicts around the world in and out of recovery are going to end up dying in active addiction, believing that our case is different. Okay, believing that our case is different, and only 3% of those people are actually on Skid Row. You know, that means that, over 97% of people dying are in towns and cities just like yours and mine, and they're being labeled as suicides or exposure to the weather or violence or hit by a bus or whatever the case may be. I really identified to your share. It doesn't matter if we're black, white, Chinese, Mexican, doesn't matter if we're man or woman, doesn't matter if we're rich or poor, gay or straight, religious or non-religious, okay? That we really like the effects produced by alcohol and drugs, that even though it's injurious to our life, that after a while we can't differentiate the true from the false. That life becomes the only normal one. And each and every one of us, it doesn't matter who we are, we get to that jumping off place where we couldn't imagine life with alcohol and drugs, we couldn't imagine life without them. But there had to be a sufficient substitute. And I need you guys. I need to identify that I'm not the only person on the planet, that could feel lonely in a crowded room. That I'm not the only guy that feels like I'm not the only person that didn't get the handbook on how to do life, or that you guys know what it's like when the alcohol and drugs quit working, that you know what it's like to drink and use even though you don't want to. Okay, that the real problem is I'm a self-seeker even when trying to be kind. The real problem is that any life run on self-will could hardly be a success. I'm almost always in collision with something or someone. Okay, that I'm stuck in the 6-inch prison believing that my case is different than everybody else's. I'm stuck in the 6-inch prison believing that only if I have everybody do just the way I want, then I could be happy, then I could be clean, sober. I'm a producer of confusion rather than harmony. I'm selfish, I'm self-centered. I'm driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, self-pity. I step on the toes of my fellows. Sometimes they hurt me. They retaliate, seemingly without provocation. But I invariably keep making decisions based on self that later put me in a position to be hurt. And this keeps happening over and over and over. And it's not till I identify that my troubles are of my own making. They arise out of myself. I can't have a relationship with people or even God because I'm running around playing God. And it all starts with that identification. And I think what you're doing is amazing. And I can't wait to, see the way this thing keeps growing.
Nice.
Recovering
Amazing.
out loud. Thank you, guys.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Nice. I was like, mic drop. I want to drop one of these mics right now for you.
I've known
These are very
Kelly
expensive
since I
mics.
got off the boat. Since I've got off the boat here in California, he was one of the first 3 or 4 people I met.
Off the boat?
Let's call it the boat.
Off the boat.
plane,
Off the
plane.
boat?
Off the boat.
I flew in, all right? I flew with the
Okay,
John
that's,
Wayne,
I just
all right?
didn't make sense
He
at
was
all.
one of the first 5 people I met here in Southern
Amazing.
California. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Thanks,
he
Callie.
I gotta say, Thank you. And Shane's one of the sickest people I ever met, for sure.
Yeah, he is one of the sickest people I've ever met as well.
In
I mean that in the best way possible. Love you guys.
Okay. Love you too, man.
I agree, Kelly. Shane is very sick.
Yeah, Kelly's a good guy. Great guy.
It got me all pumped up.
Sandy with 2 E's. Wow, look at that.
We got
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, there's Sandy.
How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I really appreciate this meeting. I appreciate the platform, and I appreciate your message of being able to recover and be loud about it. Because I feel like I have not been very loud about it. I'm in September 18th will be 10 years for me, and
good for you.
Congratulations.
Quiet. But I have to say, I've been really, really quiet over the last few years. I feel like I let the pandemic kind of get a hold of me, and I've kind of went into a cocoon, and I'm the wallflower. I'm the one who just sits in the back corner with my video off, and I don't really say much at all. And but I really appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate your message. I really appreciate you talking about the pain that we feel, and why, for me, I am an alcoholic. And it was the sadness, it was the fear, and it was the pain. And I discovered courage through substances. And it went from substances to alcohol, where some people, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's alcohol and then substances, but I became a full-blown alcoholic, a functioning one at that. But I couldn't see it in myself, but it was the act of desperation, that led me into Alcoholics Anonymous and into recovery. And here is where I gathered the tools, the special tools. Y'all gave me that toolbox, the toolbox of everything, and the handbook on how to live a life beyond my wildest dreams. But really, it's no Disneyland. It's not just, we kind of hear that. It's like, ooh, you recover, you'll have a life beyond your wildest dreams. And no, but we learn how to deal with the hardships, and we learn how to deal with the difficulties and the deaths and the losses, and our grief and our anger. We learn how to deal with that based off of the tools and what we get here. And a year and a half ago, I was living in Southern California, and I moved back to Texas because my mom had metastatic cancer, and I was able to be here for her, and I didn't have to drink, and I didn't have to do drugs over it. And it was fucking awful. It was awful, and it was painful. But where everybody else in this entire family was losing their shit and couldn't deal and putting their blinders on and walking away, I got to hold my mother's hand. I got to help her in a way that nobody else could. And I got to be there for her when she took her last breath. And I got to tell her, it's okay, that you can go. And you did a good job in this life, and it's okay. You can let go now. It's good. And through Alcoholics Anonymous, I learned how to sit with my sadness and allow it to be, and release it into the universe. And to deal with the sadness when it comes up, and the grief, and to know that those are just feelings, that it doesn't have to consume me, and I don't have to drink or take any substances over it. I don't have to do that. I'm just really grateful that I found y'all, because, like I said, I have been a wallflower, and I don't necessarily want to be a wallflower anymore. I think it's time to be able to raise my hand and speak again at meetings. So thank you very much for allowing me the space to do that.
Well, thank you. And so sorry for your loss. Thank you for that share. It's absolutely amazing. And that just shows that we can walk through anything and we can be present. I've lost some family members, and I wasn't present, in those losses. And I will live with that regret of not being there, and so for you to have that, that's just so beautiful. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that that was a beautiful share, and what you just shared to me is living beyond living a life beyond my wildest dreams, because never in my wildest dreams did I think I could walk through the pain that you just talked about and all of the things that you just talked about and do it sober. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I could do that. So thank you for your share.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what the real deal is. Like we can do anything in life, but the hard stuff is walking through the things that we never thought we could sober, And the truth is that's the big lie. That is the lie. We can all walk through this pain, and we don't have to get loaded anymore.
And the more times we do it, the stronger we get, and it's almost like a natural high walking through the pain.
We just saw Sandy take back her juice.
Yeah, and
we just saw her. We were a witness right here, bro.
And on top of that, you just recovered as loud as you possibly could.
We were a witness to Sandy rolling over right here. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
we have no
fucking
idea.
Beautiful.
We have no idea how many people are watching.
Holy
on YouTube,
shit, was that ever beautiful? Nice, thanks, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy.
Wow.
Y'all can go back and watch this on the Hopeaholics YouTube channel as well, because as soon as the meeting's done, I think it's uploaded onto the YouTube channel.
Great.
So thank you for that share. That was very everything's been super powerful tonight.
Yes.
Really appreciate everybody's shares. All right, we got another guest with two more with their hands up. This is Michael.
I'm telling you, bro, English is not my first language.
We know this.
Holy shit.
French Canadian.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Michael.
Hey. Michael Alcohol. My sobriety date is 9/3/13. With that, God gets all the credit.
Nice.
And before that, I was just texting on this page 8, second paragraph. It talks about that. No words can tell the loneliness and the despair that I found in that bitter morass of self-pity. Quicksand stretched all around me in all directions. Wow. I was alcohol was my master. Overwhelmed. That's statement for me, because there's no words. I was going through life with trudging through the swampy mud of my life. It was pretty crappy, and 2 years prior, 3, 4, 5, 6 years prior for me trying to get sober, I couldn't do it, man. Alcohol, I was a slave to alcohol, a slave to drugs, anything that mind altering for me. And what happened is, I was so proud, I got this. And the more I try to struggle out of this quicksand they talk about, in that book, the more I sank, and I was up to my neck with my own bullshit, right? And then somehow God threw a life raft or plucked me out of that situation I was in and put me in these rooms and dropped me off at the Salvation Army. So I know how it is to be in recovery from rehabilitation, and the crazy thing is with that, I do good in jails, prisons. I do good in these rehabilitation centers. And I thought, after I got out of Sally, I was cured, and I went back to these horse shows I used to do. I used to be a course designer, assistant, setting up courses, right? And at the end of the circuit, everybody's drinking, and I thought, yeah, I can drink like a gentleman, and I thought, hats off to me, right? But that day never came. They're like, oh no, Mike's on another rampage. He's a tyrant, and so that took 4 months out of my recovery to understand and learn, and that's what life's about. I've learned that from going on, Sandra. I know how it is. I lost my parents, my mother and my father, and I know how it is to like this where you're at. um you know uh going on 10 years is a milestone. Like we do recover, you know what I mean? And I know Jenny's story. She's loud as shit about it, you know what I mean? um and I wish I had that courage, like I kind of dance around the subject when I'm at work and stuff like that. But when I do, I notice like people asking me questions like, you know, what is alcoholics and not what is an alcoholic? You know what I mean? And I want to bring that, those pamphlets they have on those nice rack. If you ever go to a meeting and shit, you hear nice
Yeah.
rack. You know what I mean?
I used to be the literature
Yeah,
guy.
we back on Thursdays, and there was a gentleman there, and we call him Show Bun, and I said, "Show me your bun," you know what I mean? When it goes to that part, and yeah, like um, without like me fully conceding to my innermost self, it tells us on page 30, like I would never get the full first step of recovery. I always thought, one, uh, step one was always the first step of recovery, but I was my sponsor at that time broke it down to me, and it really made sense because I would go to the meetings and want to be part of, and I'll do the smashing bullshit, smash, right? Everybody does that smash. I don't know how you guys do it, but we always smash and people fucking smashing shit, right? But yeah, and I just wanted to be part of, right? But that was just like um where I had my aha moment to understanding, like, from now to infinity, thinking that I can drink like a normal person, that has to be smashed. Like fully conceding to my innermost self, deep down, past all that bullshit I made up, past all that, where God is this, deep down in my core, that I'm an alcoholic and an addict. And if I can't accept that, there's not, like it says it right there, I had to. There's no other way to say, it says had to.
Yeah.
Doesn't say maybe, Mike, maybe in a couple weeks. It said I had to do it right then.
Yeah.
And that was my aha moment. So I wanted to ask you guys this question. Anybody out there? When was your like aha moment to understand, like, okay, I cannot exist living like this anymore?
Well, I could tell you when mine was. It was the day the bail agent kicked in my door.
Right.
And I had done telepathy with the judge the night before, letting him know I wasn't going to make it to my court date. So, yeah, the telepathy didn't work.
No.
I'd been up for like, I don't know, 10, 11 days, something like that. All right, we got two more quick ones.
Lauren.
And
this
then
guy
that'll
Art
be
looks like he might. I don't know
We
what's he
got- we
wearing.
got
Is he in the hospital there? Smoking? Is he smoking in the hospital? What the fuck is he doing, Art? He's smoking in the fucking hospital.
Shane thinks you look like you're in the hospital
It
right
looks like
now.
he's in the hospital. Where is he at?
smoking a cigarette inside
Smoking
the
a cigarette.
hospital.
What this fucking guy? I like
What's
his
going
style.
on, man?
That's his third cigarette. I'm watching this guy. He's smoking Marley Reds.
All right, we got two more, and then we're gonna wrap it up, and please pass it on for next week.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's for sure.
Lauren, you got the mic, Lauren.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, I'm Lauren. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Lauren.
I actually came to this meeting because my little brother said he was gonna come, but he went to bed. But I'm really glad because I'm a Zoom baby. I'm like a little over 2 years sober, and so I attend a meeting like every morning on Zoom, but I didn't go this morning. So this has been really good. And I'm gonna admit this out loud. I was like, this must be because I'm an alcoholic. He's more of an addict. Like I was like, oh well, I'll just go and listen. Like whatever, I'll just go for him. And this has been so good for me. Like it's no different. It's the
Awesome.
same program, the same 12 steps. We're all addicts. Like
That's right.
I just haven't done drugs yet. You know what I mean? I'm not addicted to, I'm addicted to everything else, like everything else. So it's like we all are addicts, you know, and I don't know where I got off on thinking I'd be any different. So just admitting that, because I'm a fool and selfish and prideful. And I'm glad I'm not the only one here who's like that. So it's good to hear other people. And I just really appreciated the shares, like you know, Sandy and other people like talking about sitting in their pain, because that is something I'm really bad at. I have zero pain tolerance. I hate pain, like emotional, any kind of pain, whatever it is, skin knee, like feeling sad. I hate it. And so the last couple of years have been really weird, like trying to learn how to do that. I usually run to like a box of Oreos or shows on TV or books, you know, at least it's not alcohol. My sponsor, who's in California, because I've never met any of my people, like they're all in California, I'm in South Carolina. But she's like, well, you can't go to jail for having too much ice cream.
or
That's good.
Oreos. Those are, I mean, I'm a go-to for
Or
Oreos
Oreos.
too.
Oreos
Yeah.
can't
But
have them in the house. Nope.
You know,
Mine's
but I did.
Nutter butter.
I like that reminder that, you know, like getting, like learning to sit in your pain gets easier, because even like today I walked into Walmart and I exercised this thing called self-control that I have not done in a while with like food and sweets and candy. And man, it felt so good. Like I haven't done that thing and it felt good. And I'm like, oh, that's why they call it exercise. Like it's hard, but then it gets a little easier each time.
Right.
And because I hate exercise. Ugh. Man, anyways, maybe one day. But so yeah, I need to learn to sit in my pain, and I just really appreciate that, y'all, like so much, and just everybody shares. And so yeah, thank you for letting me be a part of this. I'm
Thanks a
gonna
lot.
hopefully be here next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Keep coming back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like how she looks at the similarities.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, that's important.
Yeah.
You know, good. For
I
them.
drank alcohol too, alcoholically. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Wow.
I also shot dope alcoholically.
Yeah.
So, all right, man.
Art.
Art's
at Hogue Hospital.
Who's at the Hogue Hospital right
Hospital.
now?
Art smoking cigarettes.
Smoking cigarettes.
God knows what else he's fucking
I'm
doing.
not in the hospital. I'm smoking in my own. This is a smoking meeting, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can,
it
yeah,
is.
you can smoke in this meeting.
Yeah,
That's,
Sure
bro.
can.
that's the best part about this meeting.
Sun guns. Listen, my name's Art. I'm an alcoholic.
Art.
And I really appreciate your sharing, Jen. And I just recently started following you on Instagram. And I really think what it's for me that is the principles before personalities. I've kind of been I've had a lot of relapse in my story. And so I haven't been real loud at all since I've come back in, and because I don't have the time I had when I relapsed. And so I feel like I haven't got back what I had until I have that time. But the truth of the matter is my last aha moment was laying in the street after I got hit by a car, blinded drunk on moonshine. I was pedestrian. I got hit by a car at 60.
Wow.
Almost went through the windshield. I laid in the street while cars were coming, and I thought I was going to be crushed by other cars. It was a dark road. It was really dark. I couldn't see my hand in front of my face, and I'm sure they couldn't see me either. So, but that's where my alcoholism led me, into the street, drunk and staggering around, and ended up getting hit by a car. And I really think I did die that night. But I was blessed enough to get another chance. It was I remember because I've been in recovery, so I prayed. I said, God, please not tonight. I don't want to die. I was immediately brought out of my it shocked me into, reality. I mean, I was laying in the street, but I knew what was going on. And I thought, this is it. I've taken it. I took it to the bitter end. I want to get run over in the street. Please not tonight. I don't want to die tonight. And I didn't.
Wow.
But I've been struggling because of my broken hip
I've had 3 surgeries. I finally got a hip replacement. I'm pushing 4 years sober. My sobriety date's December 3rd, 2019.
Nice.
And, but, it's been hard. This is not like, I used to be such a freaking smart ass, go in and out, make a lot of jokes about it. But man, I got my ass fucking nearly killed. And it wasn't anything in particular, you know, it was just another fucking drunken night and stupidity. I lost my phone. I needed my phone to Uber because I got a damn driver's license from my freaking crap. You know, so I left my phone in the dude's car that I was playing golf with, and I took off walking to go get my phone so I could get to work in the morning. Yeah, what a plan I had. Well, God had a different one, and it got me sober. And God bless America. When I came back in, and I went to my first meeting, the man that was sponsoring me for 10 years was there, and I asked him to sponsor me again, and he's still sponsoring me now. And praise God for him, because he's a big book thumper, man. And he's always on the big book with me. And I just wanted to say that I'm going to start trying to share my story. I've been really quiet about it. I don't know why I'm ashamed about it. I'm the jaywalker, my sponsor says. You know, I'm the jaywalker that walked out into the street and got plowed and says, okay, I'll go do it again. But I don't want to do it again. Not today. I'll never forget laying in that street thinking I was going to get run over by a car and my head was going to get crushed. And so I'm really, really grateful for this, and I'm going to continue to follow you, Jen, and follow this meeting. Yeah. I'm in an isolated area right now, and I'm having to Zoom, and I'm not able to get to meetings because of my driver's license issue. And that's the biggest struggle I'm having, is trying to get enough money together to straighten out my license issue. I've already gotten in trouble driving without one, and I've got court dates. I'm still not a freaking doggone healthy person. But I'm sober. I'm not necessarily making the best decisions, but man, I'm just trying to get there back to who I was before I freaking made the disaster happen. I was 10 years sober. I picked up a drink like for no reason. It just fucking came up on me one day. 10 years of sobriety. Somebody offered me a beer after work. Boom. 3 years of disaster. And you ended up dead in the street.
Wow. It's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
It's
And that's why we can never get overconfident.
Fuck.
You know, because we never know. We never
I
know.
got complacent as shit. I got away from meetings. I didn't want to, because I was starting to get into the speaker circuit and shit, but it wasn't for me. I wasn't into the speaking out loud shit, but it needs to be spoke out loud because people are dying of fentanyl. Man, I've lost a lot of friends from that shit. Man, it's in the pot.
Yeah, it's in the pot. We had a 65-year-old guy overdose smoking weed.
We don't a reefer anymore, and not where you might not get hit with some fucking fentanyl.
Yeah, you can't buy the reefer. Nothing on the street is good.
Yeah, man.
I mean, this is cool to me. This is a really cool movement because, man, people in my area shame people with fucking multiple white chips. Yeah. And I think it's bullshit.
Yeah,
it is bullshit.
It is bullshit because you're seeing my story, man. I had 9 years clean. I worked in treatment. I owned a treatment center. I got loaded. I struggled for 5 years, man, in and out. Embarrassed. Yeah. Did the walk of, I did the white chip walk of shame many times. I just choose to do things a little bit different these days. I love the 12-step program. But just people need to remember that the program is the steps. You know, it's not always the fellowship. You know, we can recover out loud out here. You know, I choose to not be anonymous anymore.
Carry me through the steps in a hurry. I was not wanting to go back to drinking. It's like, man, you better carry me through the steps fast because I'm not going back.
There's no shame. There's no shame in relapse, and there's no shame in coming back, man.
Just zero. Make it back.
You know, and we believe you could recover out loud if you got 1 day clean.
That's right.
You
sure
know,
can.
You can help the guy.
that man wasn't there that night, I don't know if I'd have stayed.
Yeah.
He was there. God knew
what you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
God,
man.
Those are
and so since that, when I realized how much God worked and got me back to Him, because He does help me a lot, I knew that I owe my recovery to God. So, but I still struggle, but I owe my recovery. So I'm not going back, but now I need to get where I can talk about it and share it and not be ashamed about it. So that's
Yeah,
why
bro.
I'm so happy
That's
to be a
right.
part
Yeah,
of it.
man.
all right, man.
Well, thank you. Thanks for being
thanks
vulnerable
your
with
share.
us. I appreciate it.
Unfortunately, that is the last guest that we can have share.
Yeah,
why are you looking at me?
Because I want the last
All
guy.
right,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
all right.
I want this guy. He's walking his dog. He's in the sun. He's drinking a.
Where
what's-
are you? Where
what's
you're
that?
in
He
the
looks
sun?
like he's in Florida.
No, it would be dark in Florida.
Yeah.
It would
All right,
be,
we're gonna.
actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It says
V81. He's in LA.
He's in LA.
He's drinking a power drink.
Yeah, you up?
Power walk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you
bro.
up in LA or are you in Hawaii?
Yeah. I'm drinking an Arizona. It's an iced tea.
Iced tea, yeah, baby.
lemon.
There you go. Smart.
Yeah.
All right, you're the last
one
share.
question, brother. I know when you first started, you said it's open meeting, and I saw a couple AA guys come in, and I don't want to be disrespectful
No,
at
say
all.
whatever you want.
You know what I mean? But I was just wondering because I'll be honest with you, I've been an addict for over 10 years on heroin, and I started basically with my older brother, and my older brother was like almost 15 years heroin addict himself, and he used to shoot up in front of me, and basically, I don't want to say getting hype, but my question is, because after when he got sober, he stayed in rehab for 2 years, and then he did a year of sober living, right? And then when he came home, he started smoking pot, and I thought he was gonna relapse and whatnot, but he never did. And basically, right now, I have another 4 or 5 friends that they have a good, each of them guaranteed 7, 8 to 10 years sober, and they smoke pot. And so my brother stopped now because he's a truck driver, so he can't do nothing anymore. And it was nothing for him. And I ask him till this day, like, how the heck, like, do you manage to do that? You know? And he tells me like, yeah, like it does come to my head, but like you have to be strong your first couple of years. After your first couple of years, like the cravings and stuff automatically it'll just kind of go away. Like maybe once in a year you'll get a craving, but you already know it's gonna fuck up your life, so you know not to do it. You know. So I was just wondering, like, do you think that's just for individual people? That's okay? Because I'll be honest, the longest time I've ever had was 9 months. I've never passed a year mark. You know.
Yeah, I can only speak for myself that or I
That's
also,
what I was thinking.
I can only speak for the Hopeaholics podcast as well. You have to ask you have to ask yourself a question. Is doing that? Are you able to be the best version of yourself? Are you truly happy?
Yeah, that's
uh,
true too. It does make you slow. My brother was telling me that too. He's like,
Slippery
when I
slope,
started smoking weed, I started feeling slow. And he's like, now that I'm not smoking weed no more again, I feel more energetic and like I'm happy I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I can only tell you that I love being sober.
Yeah.
Not they call it California sober out here, where you can smoke the weed, but
that's what the problem is.
Yeah,
like
I
finding
don't
rehabs and stuff. I went to my friend's sober living like a couple months ago in North Hollywood, right? I walk in, I didn't know. He didn't tell me that they smoke weed and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I walk in, I go to the backyard. There's a freaking bong in the middle of the table, and everybody just chilling right there.
It's a slippery slope, bro. We would advise that. We would not advise that to anybody in recovery. That's
Yeah,
it's a sober living.
For
Foremost,
myself, I can speak for myself. I know that if I smoke weed or drink alcohol, it's going to lead me back to my drug of choice
More
sooner
than
or
likely.
later.
More than likely.
And I always ask people that want to smoke weed or drink that are in recovery, I say, well, why do you need to, right? And most people, if they really answer that honestly, is they have anxiety or they want to feel good or they want to go out.
Honestly, I'm gonna say for me, I used to say all that, but I noticed I'm bullshitting myself. For me, it's just boredom. It's really boredom.
99.9% of the people smoking weed or any kind of mind-altering substances you're going to go back to your drug of choice. You're going to fuck your life up.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's history,
That's a
bro.
fact.
That's history. That's 99.9%. That is history.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Imagine
really,
now
truly,
that same guy that was paying rent at that sober living, whatever. Now he's been stuck on fentanyl for over
there
a
you
year.
go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You're answering your own question, bro. You're answering your own question.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your share.
I mean, I'm
Thanks,
not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know if you guys are against it. My brother's totally against it.
No.
I'm on MAT. I'm on like 2 milligrams of Suboxone, but like it's very small. Like one day I'll take 2 milligrams, one day 1 milligram. Like I taper it all the way down.
Yeah.
But that 1 milligram, like if the first day I don't take it, I'm okay. And then the second day I get sick.
Yeah.
Like not sick, but it's like I don't feel comfortable. And then that's what makes me take it again. And my brother keeps telling me, like, bro, it's 1 milligram. You've lowered it down. Just man up and get out of it,
Listen to your brother.
There's
because my brother's totally against it.
Listen to your
he
brother.
Tells me, like, it's cool, you're clean, but he's like, it's the same bullshit. Like one day you don't have it, you're still gonna be sick.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you more next week.
Yeah,
we hope that you come.
You're gonna
following you guys, and I'll join you guys next week as well.
Nice. Make sure you follow the Hopeaholics.
Because honestly.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. We got to end it, but we appreciate his share. My suggestion to people is to be true to yourself. I found for myself that if I have any substances in me, I cut off that spiritual connection, and I cut off that ability to grow and become the best version of myself. I love the guy that I've turned into because I'm okay being my authentic self. I'm okay of being nerdy. I'm okay feeling awkward. I'm okay telling people that I'm feeling awkward. I'm okay walking through pain. I'm okay telling people that I'm in pain.
Yeah, I feel the same. We just need to be our true selves, no matter what that looks like or feels like.
Yeah. Authentic.
Yeah, great meeting. Jesus.
It was a really good meeting.
Holy smokes.
Uh-huh.
Thank you all for everybody that
thank you guys.
Was able to stay. I know sometimes people have to jump off at 7 to go to other meetings.
Wow, just drained all my energy this meeting again. I'm going to go have a great sleep.
Yeah, we hope you all get a good night's sleep.
Good stuff. See you next week.
Yeah, make sure share with friends and families. The Hopeaholics podcast at the Hopeaholics on Instagram. Jenny's Sober Lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like Jenny's _.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated.
Lifestyle.
Yeah. It's kind of complicated.
Sober _
Yeah,
lifestyle.
really? We're gonna have to get a sign here. We're gonna have to get a sign and write down the fucking name. Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We all recover out loud.
And have fun. Have fun.
We have fun. Yeah, y'all have fun.
Yeah.
Y'all think anybody that's local? Do you guys think we should start like an actual in-person meeting?
You can ask that online.
Maybe we should do a poll.
Yeah, I'll do a poll.
Do a poll.
Yeah,
Right.
check us out on Instagram. We'll do a poll.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it. Like, do something cool like they do at that other place. I can't say the name of it, but they do. It's pretty cool.
Let's have it at my house.
They have hot dogs.
Yeah.
They cook up hot dogs.
Yeah.
Beef.
Yeah.
Beef wieners. Shane.
Beef wieners.
Yeah.
Beef wieners.
Kosher.
Yeah, kosher.
Kosher.
They're kosher. All right, guys.
Hebrew
All right.
nationals.
I literally like to end with just with a quick serenity prayer, right?
Yeah.
It's good to go.
Yeah.
God, Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change,
courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom
to know the difference.
Keep coming back.
Yeah,
man. See you guys
Work
next
if
week.
you work it.